Hey everybody. So my name is Tati, and I just wanted to talk about the spiritual world and the spiritual life, and people already thinking that I'm crazy, but I feel like I know that I'm not. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I have on my robe, it's mad cold in the house, there's no heat, and this is my purity ring, looking like my marriage ring, right? Married to God, that's how I roll. That's how I roll. Um, but basically, I want to start off saying how my spiritual journey has been so I can get people can get a feel of like what I'm really trying to say. Okay, so ever since I was small, I was always having reoccurring dreams that'll keep happening. I remember seeing spirits. My mother can tell you all of this. My family can tell you all of this. All majority of my dreams always come true. And if it doesn't come true to that certain extent, like to the point where death happens, it means that it's coming. So, I remember when I was 8 years old and my mother was like braiding my hair and I waved to this person that I saw. And then mommy's like, "Who you waving to?" I was like, "You don't see Harry?" It's amazing how I knew his name, how he looked. His hand was on a doorknob, all of that. My mom was like, "What are you talking about?" But it stems from that to me getting older. I started getting into the church more. Um, I was praising God, I praised Jesus, so on and so forth. It was to the point where I felt at pure happiness. Like nobody could have taken that away from me. And in high school, I remember in ninth grade, I kept trying to tell everybody about Jesus and blah, blah, blah. I remember people used to be like, "Oh, here she go talking all that nonsense about Jesus and blah, blah, blah." And I used to feel so bad. So I started changing for the worse, I guess. But I started changing because of the peer pressure of people telling me, "Oh, ain't nobody gonna listen to you because your God is blah, 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 blah," or "God is blah, 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 blah." But because I'm young and I didn't have, like, my parents, both my parents still don't have, like, a good foundation of spirituality either. So, like, I didn't really have a foundation. And just because I believed in something didn't mean, like, I stood for it yet because people were already bashing that in my head. I'm like, damn, like, I gotta change now. So I wasn't strong, and I still feel like I'm not that strong, but I'm definitely getting stronger. So that happened in high school, and throughout my whole high school career, I started changing into a more um liberal person, I guess you would say. I don't I could say I was sinning a lot, but I wouldn't say like I was OD sinning. Like I went to parties, I'll wake up, wind up, blah 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 blah. Even up to last year I did all of that. So I mean, I was just living the life. I wasn't really a drinker. I wasn't really a smoker, but I guess I would say I enjoyed it and I don't regret it, but it just stopped my spiritual growth. And so my spirituality started kicking in more even in when I was 16. I wasn't baptized, but I was saved at 14, but I am going to get baptized soon. I'm not sure when. And so what happened was when I was 16, I started getting all these dreams about me. One dream, which is very, very weird because a lot of people who talk about the end times usually have a dream about the sky being an amber color, like amber, like an orangish brown. And so when I had my dream, it was just like that. And mine was the sky was an amber brown. And I seen like this light coming towards me. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I've been waiting for this." Like, that's how it felt. I felt like I was waiting and I was so happy. Like my soul, my spirit was just happy. But everybody else was like running and screaming and and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is interesting." And I just kept going to the light and I was like, okay, that means I'm not afraid of what's trying to come to me like right now. And that was when I was younger, when I was 16. There was like three important dreams. That dream, then the other dream that was the second dream that was more significant to me was this dream I had about my dad. And it was so important that I got a tattoo. I was 16. But it was so important that I had gotten a tattoo because that's how deep it was to me. And basically, it was Isaiah 54, verse 17, meaning, no weapon against me shall prosper, no tongues against me shall prevail. And basically what happened in the dream was my father was trying to abuse my sister, like physically. And so what happened was I had gotten into the fight, and me and my father started fighting. And then I was like, God save me, no weapon against me shall prosper. And my father hand was put up like this, right? I don't know if y'all can see, like this, like he wanted to hit me. But it feel like somebody's hand was holding him back. Like something was holding him back from like trying to slap me. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I was like, yo, that's too deep. And that was a dream. But it was just so deep to the point where I was like, nah, there's something out there that's like really positive stricken and really negative stricken. And you see people like that all over the place. It's not like you don't see it. You see it every day. You see crazy people, and you see people that just have a negative attitude all the time. You see people that are filled with light, filled with love. You can tell because they have a certain glow off of them. And I'm not saying that because I've been told that before, but I've actually seen what people are saying about other people, like, oh my gosh, she's so nice, blah blah. They have a certain aura around them. And if you're spiritually in tune, you can see that. And you can also, you can also see when a negative person is trying to come at you in a certain way, or their negativity is just there, and you just, like you could feel it in your spirit. But I don't know, that's just me. I'm not sure about anybody else. And the first dream, I'm going up, yeah. The last dream that I really had that I remember to this day, I'm about to be 20 in July, but I remember this dream so vividly that I think I wrote it down. And what happened in the dream was basically, a long story short, I became a vessel from God to tell people about his kingdom. But it wasn't regular. It was like, it felt like there was a lot of symbolism in the dream. There was a tree of life in there. There was mountains and hills in there. There was a lot of white. I kept wearing a lot of white. Like, I was covered from head to toe in white. I remember praying on top of this mountain, and it was like moist, like the soil was moist, like, the mist. And I remember praying, I still had on my all white, so I remember it being dirty when I stood up. But when I brushed it off, everything turned back like a clear white. It was mad crazy. I don't know how to describe it because, dirt can stain sometimes. So when I just brushed it off, it was back to normal. It was white as snow. Like, everything was just white, purified. That's what it seems. And so I guess that means that that's the work that I'm supposed to be doing. And currently, the stuff that happened in the dream has been fulfilled. Like, from the beginning to the end. I remember having a fight last year. That was in my dream from like 4 years ago. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff that's being fulfilled. And I get kind of nervous about it because I'm not sure if I'm ready. But if you keep telling yourself you're not ready, it's not going to happen. And so, like, I just want people to keep thinking in a positive way. And for the new agers out there, which I used to be, because I didn't have a set foundation. I used to go try everything. Like, let me go into this Hindu thing. Let me go into this Buddhism thing. Let me go into this Islam, Christian. I used to mix everything up and all together. But I realized that all of them led to one thing. And the one thing was that there is one God. That a lot of the traditions that you see, the Buddhists, the Hindus, and the Islam religions and Christianity religions all lead to one thing, and it's Judaism. And the amazing thing about it is that Judaism is so beautiful. Islam is beautiful. Islam follows the Torah. For most of y'all that don't know that, Islam follows the Torah. But they also have the Prophet Muhammad who came and told them, their stuff. And then you have Christianity, which is being taught wrong. I'm going to tell y'all that from now. It's being taught wrong. And from my perspective, I would love to say that I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I don't want to say that because I don't even want to associate myself with the Hebrew Israelites that you see in New York preaching hate. I don't want to be known for preaching hate. So a better term would be a Messianic Jew. And Messianic Jews have been a part of the Hebraic roots movement since, I think, the 1970s. Those are when the Orthodox Jews started to realize that Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, or Yahshua HaMashiach, was the son of Yahuwah, which is also, his name is God, the son of God, Yahweh, certain things like that. So in 1970, a lot of the Jews started claiming that, Jesus, Yeshua, was their Messiah. And so people need to realize that Jesus was Jewish. And because he was Jewish, he celebrated all the Jewish holidays. He was born, let me tell y'all something. He was born on Sukkot. Sukkot is the Feast of Tabernacles. Y'all need to read your Bible because the stuff that they're teaching you in church is totally different from what they're teaching you in the Bible. The scripture does not change. And it says it all the time. In Matthew 5:17, it says, I did not come to destroy the law. I came to fulfill it. So what that means is he came to fulfill the law, making sure he kept all the Torah rules, but only certain things, such as blood atonement sacrifices and stuff, came through him. So like, we don't have to sacrifice a whole bunch of stuff anymore. We don't have to do a certain type of thing anymore, but we still have to follow the Torah because he knows, for example, that God just knew like the whole world was going to change in that certain aspect. And so it's important for everybody to just realize and wake up like what's going on. Like the Sabbath is supposed to be held on a Saturday. The Seventh-day Adventists do it, but a lot of other religions or a lot of Christians don't really acknowledge that. What else? Oh, and whenever I talk about this, I'm shaking. I don't know, it's kind of like a but there's just so much that you need to realize. Jesus was not born on Christmas Day. He was born on Sukkot, which is the Feast of Tabernacles. And a lot of holidays like Christmas and Easter and certain things like that, they are pagan holidays. And